Well guys, Scrap It's back. I wasn't going to make a video today. I've just been kind of getting little onesie twosie things. Geese. I've just been in kind of onesie twosie things, and then hit this dumpster. There was a little bit of copper in there, like that. You just heard that big piece roll across the back there. And then we started moving some stuff around, and this sucker was in there. That's a good 6.5 feet of, there's that probably 1.5 inch copper pipe. That's got to be, oh, I don't know, 6 pounds, something like that. So this thing right, I lop this part off, I get number 2 for that. This part will be number 1. I got to cut it in half. It's too long for my yard to take it like that. But this is somewhere around 12 bucks, $14, and there's a really nice circuit board I got too. All these nice IC chips, tons of wires, some copper temperature gauge, temperature sensing stuff, whatever you want to call it. And that's what I use this reach-in stick for, is this kind of stuff, because I can really pull hard with this thing and it won't break and bend. So there's another nice 5-foot piece of copper there. Again, lop this part off where there's the solder, where you're kind of seeing the solder there. Here, 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 and here. So that's number 2 copper. So just lop it off there. Get number 1 for the one side, number 2 for the other side. Let's see what else we got down in here. Oh, come on. Nice faucet right there. That's going to be brass. Nice Delta faucet. That'll be mostly brass. These parts will be copper on here, that chrome copper. So that's nice. That'll go as clean brass. Let's see what else is on this side. Looks like there's another, some of the stuff's going to be too buried down there for me to get out. And I know people are, get in the dumpster, dig it out of the dumpster, and I'm not getting in dumpsters like this. So there's a real nice chunk of brass on that end. Some more number 1 through the middle here, number 2 on the ends. That's a nice chunk of brass right there. Chuck that in there. What else is down in here? Some little pieces on there I'll get out. Then this stuff's fun. That looks like copper, doesn't it? This part, that's steel. But we'll get the valve off and all that kind of stuff. It'll all come apart. What else is down there? Nice. I had a screwdriver. I'll pop those off there so I'm not taking the chunk of wood with me. Let some of that water drain out of there. There we go. That's what I want to see. Come on out of there. Dude, that thing is in there. That kind of bent that thing a little bit. Huh. To move a few things over there and see what's holding it up. Another nice big chunk of 1.5 inches. Right there. Just take that piece of insulation off of there. The other reason I'm not making a video, or wasn't planning on making one, is I forgot to plug my battery in last night. Of course, so I'm down to, when I turn this thing on, I'm down to 30-something%. which isn't good for making a big video. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna dig some of this stuff out of here, and then I will let you see what comes out of here, because it's gonna take a little bit of work getting some of this stuff up and out of the way to get things like that out of there. But the time will be worth it. You never know, maybe I will get in there. Yummy. Let that sit out there and dry. So I'll come back and I'll show you what I got. Hang on. So here's what we ended up with. This nice big long piece, inch and a half. Nice big long piece of 3/4 inch. That guy goes in there. 3 brass faucets, 2 toilet, whatever you want to call those things, the big toilet valves, some other miscellaneous valves in there, and some other small brass pieces and stuff like that. That's got to be 30 pounds in there, something like that. That's got to be 50 to 60 pounds of what'll end up being clean brass and copper pipe. There'll be a little bit of cast aluminum. That's what these valve handles usually are, and these are usually just steel, these parts here. And then there's these brackets that I showed you that kind of look like copper, but they're really not. And nice circuit board. I got this Niles, whatever this thing is, I have no idea, GXR2 out of a dumpster, and that was pretty nice. But yeah, I wasn't gonna make a video just because I was low on power, but man, I had to share that with you. That was you don't come across that too often, that much copper and brass. And I got 99% of it. There's, you know, like on the end of this thing, there's a little tiny piece of brass on there, and you know, but I'm not going to worry about that kind of stuff. The amount of work that'll take to get that thing off of there is ridiculous. So that'll do it. I'll show you if I get anything else good, and then I'll show you everything when I get home too, everything we got today. Well, we're back home, and you guys saw the nice copper pipe score. These 2 big long guys, this tub full of brass, copper, there's a little bit of steel, bits and pieces in there. 3 of these nice big brass faucets. These probably are cast aluminum on here, the handles, but I'm not complaining, don't get me wrong. Then we got this Niles receiver. If it's new and it worked, it's a pretty good chunk of money actually. It's a GXR2 multi-channel receiver of some kind. It was sitting in the bottom of a big construction dumpster in about a 1/2 inch of water, and you can see there's like some rusty flakes on it down here. Maybe you can see. I'm not comfortable selling that on eBay. I wish I could figure out if it worked or not, but it's just going to come apart. There's probably pretty nice circuit boards in there. And then this beauty of a circuit board, that one's not such a great one, but nice removable IC chips in these things, lots of wire, little transformers, some switches. I believe this is all going to be stainless. Believe it or not, this came out of a really big icy machine. You know, like the Slurpees, the ice with the juice in them. That's what this thing came out of, believe it or not. So they set these machines out for scrap, and they write scrap on them, and if the circuit boards are on there, I go pull them off because they're actually pretty nice circuit boards. So you get all that stuff. And then there's some of the copper temperature, sensors and things like that go in, that go down into the mixes, stuff like that. So there's usually 3 or 4 of them on here on these bigger boards. So that's pretty nice. Tub of miscellaneous. There's some copper pipe in there, wire. I took the whole exit sign just to get the transformer and stuff, but most of that'll go in the garbage. A couple of these big bundles of wire that I get out of dumpsters every once in a while, out of this one dumpster. So that's 65 cents a pound. That's a good 5-6 pounds of it right there. So that's really nice. So here's the mess right now. So you saw a while ago, if you watched that video of me kind of getting the garage organized, I took some stuff to the scrapyard, and now it's piling back up. And I have this little path in here I can walk back to where my table is, and this is just piled up, and this is nice and piled up. And I got things like this router with the router table I got to figure out what I'm going to do with. This Makita saw you saw in a video. My camera went out there for a second, sorry about that. So then there's the Makita saw there, and then all this other stuff that I got to deal with, tubs of circuit boards and wire over here and wire over here. So now it's the time I'm filming this video, it is the middle of September, so I've got about 3 more weeks before the weather is starting to get iffy and weird in Minnesota here. So I am going to get this, I'm going to go into winter scrapping mode. I'm going to get rid of all this stuff. I'm going to take it to the scrapyard and get myself set up where I can, when I get my scrap, I fill up the garbage cans along the back wall, and then I stack my tubs on top of it. Things like that, so I can get my car in the garage. I don't want my car outside in the when it's frigid cold winter out. So I just kind of stockpile throughout the winter more than you know, actively scrap and bring things to the scrapyard. So, you know, I'm going to bring on all the good stuff. I got 3 garbage cans full of copper here, and then some more with the stuff that's in the car. I got this whole thing's full of clean brass here. I got more downstairs. That's all dirty brass. I've got more downstairs. And little miscellaneous things that I got to get through and figure out what I'm going to do with. It was a pretty successful trip. I just haven't had any, like, you know, jackpot fun dumpsters to look at, except for that, you know, one where you got the copper. So thanks for watching my videos, guys. We will see you again soon.